All right, guys, day Mad Max 6. We are back at the Mecca on a not so hot February day, actually, 2019. And I got a brand new episode of Muscle Beach TV for you guys with Sean Rezai, Mr. 50. Welcome to Muscle Beach TV,
Thank you
Sean.
very much. Thank you very much having me here.
So, Sean, I wanted to have you on because you've been someone who kind of burst on the scene recently. We see you everywhere. We see you at all the expo. And actually, Jay told me, he says, you know what, this guy is very interesting. I want to know more about him. You need to get him on the show. We need to know what's going on with him. He calls himself Mr. 50. He's always in shape. He's always ripped. So here we are. We have you on the show, and we're going to find out a little bit more about you, Sean.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I started bodybuilding when I was 15 years old. Right now I'm like 37. This is over 22 years. So the fitness always was my passion. Fitness and martial arts. And earlier before that, I was doing martial arts. So Jean-Claude Van Damme was like my idol.
Bloodsport.
Yes, Bloodsport, kickbox, and all that. So me and Jay had that in common.
Yes,
Actually,
you heard that.
we talked about that. Yeah. So so always want to stay ripped and have a good muscle quality. So I started training when I was very young, and when I get like to 15 years old, 16 years old, I kind of like, because of school and everything, so I couldn't do both. Fitness and martial arts. So I just started like going more toward fitness. So I took that serious. I just like go from there, like training every day. I was just loved it. It was part of my life, and it started becoming part of my life since then. So for me, fitness was just part of I never thought about I want to like have it as a career in the beginning. I did compete in year 2000, Mr. International year 2000, which was in India, which all countries was actually was placed in India. There's a picture of it actually on my Instagram too.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I was very young. I was like, I don't know, 17 years old. I was the youngest one actually in that passion. So I got a second place, so I was excited. And after that, I moved to US year 2000. I went to engineering school, graduated, and
Wow.
yeah.
So you have a real career.
Yeah, computer science, and then but still I was training. So I was training, and then slowly, you see it changes, muscle getting more mature. So I started doing shoots here and there. Actually, I did shoot with Jason Ellis.
Yes.
For me, shooting was just the fact that somebody wants to compete, so get motivated. I want to dial in, want to do this. So every time I shoot, I learn, and I learn from my mistake from the past. Like sometimes I did a little too much dial in. I was flat. When I do something, I got really fat after that.
So you kind of saw a shoot kind of like a competition for you,
Yes,
something to get
competition.
motivated.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I use it as a motivation, pure motivation, and it was really truly helpful because you kind of like you put yourself in a certain discipline and put all those challenges together to know how it works and how good you are. So so lately, when I was just like coming, like it started from last year. So I started dialing. I was like about 220 pounds. So it was about 15% body fat.
15?
15%.
I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, that was my worst time. That was the worst. That's the worst shit I had because I was just like eating unhealthy. Like I tell you, In-N-Out burger every other day, 2 4x2s. McDonald's breakfast, $20 spent every day. These are like. Like these are like stuff that I used to. Yeah, I still like good. It wasn't bad. I wasn't fat, but
No.
I was not
5%.
not 5%, not even close to that. So when I started training really good, and then I started dialing in. I got to about 7 to 8% body fat. I was trying to talk to my friend. You know what? I want to go lower. I want to go below, like maybe 5. He's like, it's not possible. What are you talking about? You're like 200 something pound. You're not in a track team. Like not tracking. You know what I mean? How do you're gonna burn muscle? You know what? Because I was like, I don't care. Because the most important thing is mentally, you gotta get yourself ready. Because people, like a lot of athletes or bodybuilders, when they think, oh, they're gonna lose muscle, then mentally they get a little bit scared. I'm like, you know what? 3 weeks, I'm just gonna do cardio. Almost 3 weeks, no lifting.
Wow.
Yeah, just cardio, no lifting, and super clean, lowest the protein, the calories. So because when you don't train, you don't eat as much.
Right.
And when you have your cardio in low pace, not too fast, helps you to burn the fat rather than burning muscle. Because if you run too fast, the body just gonna, just like,
It's like a workout.
yeah, it's like a workout. So you try and look for the like energy, it might start burning your muscle. But if you do a slow pace, it takes longer, and gradually make it harder every day, and you have your meals perfect, you're sleeping, and everything else in place, you minimize the risk in losing muscle. So after almost like 2.5 weeks doing that, literally when I did my in-body, I came from 7 to 8% body fat, I came to 5.5.
Wow.
5.5. And
In 3 weeks?
In 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks actually, yeah.
Wow.
After that, I started lifting again. I did my cardio again. So and then I was like, wow. So I got really motivated. So, because everybody told me I couldn't, I did it. And it was like, that's another thing got me motivated. So I just like keep doing it. And then slowly I went below 5%. So when I was walking around, people was like, hey, 5%, 5%. Somebody told me, hey, 5-0. I'm like,
so you started something.
Yeah, on the street, I'm like, that's a good name. Maybe I should like 5-0. I like it. I like how it sounds. So I start calling, my friends start calling me at 5-0. I'm just like, yes, you want to do this. So start people getting like interested. It's like, Sean, how long are you going to keep it? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, well, usually people, bodybuilders, they done in the summertime, the bulking. I was like, you know what? I trained naturally my whole life. And I see how it works with people like taking certain stuff that they have to cycle in and out, so the body just changes.
Yeah.
And I hated it because every time I see all these beautiful bodybuilders, like, in my opinion, a lot of them, like, I respect for all of them, but every year it changes their body because, that muscle gets too big, too grown, it doesn't have that perfect, like, 4K definition like every time. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna maintain mine. What I'm gonna go through this, it doesn't hurt me, and I'm eating way better. I'm not eating in and out. My skin better, my hair is better, my beard better.
Healthier.
So, health, everything works, and then my functionality is perfect. So people was like, how does your energy level? I was like, you know what? In the beginning it was a little bit difficult, but the body learns. What I mean, if you treat the body learns how to perform. So I said, I eat certain carbs because you need it for daily routine. But this is how I compare myself with somebody just go eat. So imagine you have a car, it takes like 40 gallons of gas, right? So you fill up the tank all the way. In my body, you don't fill it up all the way. You fill it day by day based on your routine and day performance. Exactly. So this way, you burn in exactly what you need, and you don't reserve to turn it to fat. So this is a little bit like challenging in the beginning, but as slowly as when you get used to it,
You figure out your body.
you figure it out. So let's say I got a few weeks ago I went skiing. So your skiing needs a lot of performance. So you need a lot of calories. So at first, oh my God, I don't have no energy. So I started eating muffins. I figured a muffin give me a lot of energy right away, and I burn it through the whole skin and performing.
I see.
So it's certain stuff like your body slowly get used to it, and from there you can actually figure it out. And I've been maintaining under 5%, and people say, how you build muscle? I was like, you know what? For me, I don't want to get bigger. I don't want to get smaller. In my opinion, I want to make the how do you say, muscle maturity, make something more perfect look. So if you have a shoulder is all shreds, you see all these fibers,
More detail.
I want to get more details, and then slowly building up maybe little extra mass on the places that I need. Like something Arnold said, if you're lucky, you can build muscles, pure muscle, 5 pounds a year. So anything more than that is water and other stuff. And the muscle grows 2 ways, either is combination of cells. So either the cells grow each individually or multiples. You want the cells to multiples. That's sustainable. Because that's you're looking at a 4K TV versus 720p. It's more pixels in it. So it takes more time for muscle cells to multiple than each muscle to grow. Because if every muscle to grow, you can add water to it, you add certain things to it, it just looks bigger, but eventually something happens, it just goes down. But losing a muscle cell is not going to be easy as size of the muscle cell.
we see on your Instagram, and you guys, if you don't know Sean, go on his Instagram. It's Sean_Rez, R-E-Z, correct, Sean?
Yes, SHAUN
Yes.
_Rez, REZ.
He trains with Mike O'Hearn all the time. Tell me a little bit about that relationship with Mike. Obviously, the guy is super strong, defies all the age and gravity and everything. He's unbelievable. How did you and Mike start training together?
You know, me actually, I got actually connected with Mike through Todd Adams from Icon Mills. They're like best friends. So when I started joining Icon Mills, so Icon Mills is one of my sponsors. Todd loved me. He was like, you know what? He would like somebody have under 5% eating on the meals, and literally, he sends everything that I need. I eat all Icon, from A to Z, from morning to night. Everything I eat Icon.
You don't even have to cook anymore or do nothing.
No, yeah, because that's the hard part. Because as far as like maintain, have a good diet, and I think people like mess up in the nutrition when they don't have the meals.
And not prepared.
Yes, not prepared. So Todd's taking care of me on that 100%. So he hooked me up with Mike. Mike is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Let me tell you, like this guy, he just turned 50, and he got so much experience. And of course, we both are Aquarius. My birthday's coming up in February 13th, and then he's the strongest Aquarius I know. This guy is like unbelievable. Yeah. So me and him, like, of course, he's a big guy. I'm a little brother. He's a big brother. But here's comes the thing. He's experienced in certain things that I don't do. I learn from him a lot, because once you work out so much for so long for yourself, it's really difficult to find a different way, because you think that's the way it is, and kind of body get used to it. And when your body get used to it, it doesn't
stop progressing.
It's not progressing. Exactly. So Mike is one of those guys. It changed the direction for me all the time.
He pushes you out of your comfort zone,
let me
basically.
tell you about comfort zone. First time he started working out, I was like, yeah, come on Saturday. I'm like, okay, 10 o'clock is good. I never forget that. I said 10 a.m. is good. He messaged me. He's like, 10? What are you guys doing, partying? I'm like, okay, what time, bro? I didn't know. He's like, 4 a.m. I'm like,
from Huntington Beach. You live in Huntington Beach, so you're not close.
Yeah, 4 a.m. I guess to the guy, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it. I have to change my, the schedule I do. So I wake up at 2 a.m. I'm another night guy. I'm not early sleeping guy. So I go to bed at 11. Wow. I went to 11. I woke up at 2. Get ready. By the time I leave my house at 3 a.m., I'm here at 4 a.m. In the first couple of times, it was difficult, but the body got used to it. Yeah. Because in the morning, for me, it was really difficult to actually get the blood flowing. I always had that problem. Yeah. But like I said, you put the body in a certain situation, it will basically adjust. Adapt. Yeah, adopt it. So I have no problem with that anymore.
That's awesome. Come closer, Sean.
Yeah.
How did you get all those sponsors? Because these days it's not easy to get sponsors. So obviously you have a good thing, but what can you give as far as advice for people watching this? How do you get sponsored by a company, and how do you get yourself out there, and how do you promote yourself the way you have?
Right. I think the most important now, before was difficult, because let's say before social media wasn't that easy. You have to know people that they know people. That's how it was people getting connected. But like social media, like Instagram, it makes the same time more challenging, competitive, but also opens the door for everybody. So if you put good content on your page, you have great pictures and values, and somebody gets to see your page, slowly people hear about you, and that's how they start hear about me. Icon Mill, and then father and son actually saw me one of my stories of putting this clothes. Like, he messaged me, he's like, bro, I want to send you this clothes. I said, okay. Next week I had not next week, 2 days later, it was a big box of clothes. Nice. And he's like, you want to work?
Any special project that you're working on? You're working on a book. You're working on. Would you ever want to compete again? Do you know that the IFBB and the APC just are organizing a very first natural bodybuilding show in Montreal coming up? I think next year or this coming year. The Ben Weider Club Classic, amateur and professional. Would you like to compete again in the future? Of course, it's tested natural.
Yes, it's everybody been asking me like, what don't you compete? So in the past,
you're ready
now. Yeah. But also was this too. Before even why did I get to this? Now I'm making. I'd like to answer this question. Like, people tell me, why didn't you get to this 10 years ago? Like, I was like, you know what? I didn't have the niche. Like, if I was gonna come like lifting, bodybuilding, I'd be like probably like most everybody else, and you get you got to compete in the same thing.
Yeah.
Just who is look better, who is this, that.
Yeah.
So after the experience, all these years that I learned from my way of training I do, nutrition, I could maintain under 5%, and that become my niche. So I could, like, I could use that. I become separate myself from
the rest.
from the
Yes,
rest,
yes.
and build up,
Your
market.
brand.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, my brand. And people say, why don't you compete? I'm like, you know what? This is my competition. Every day.
Every day.
Every day. I've been in this physique every day. You know what I mean? And I'll be always. So I don't need to step on a stage, because on a stage
Validation.
to get a validation, I think I'm getting I already get. I'm getting it every day. I'm improving every day. Validation through public. But if they come up with a natural, another thing is go natural. So you want to
Yeah.
go, on a competing on a stage that everybody taking
Fair,
something.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to never get intimidated to taking anything, because all this year I never did. A lot of people was like, oh, you know what? You have little lack of this. If you use this, you can do that.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
I don't need that. I mean, I'm comfortable where I am. I like to just challenge myself in a natural way to build it.
I like your answer.
My best way that I can. You know
like
what
your
I mean?
answer.
The best
Yeah.
way I can.
That's awesome.
Because I believe once you start it, you cannot stop.
I know.
When you get dirty, then you're dirty.
Once
I'm
you
gonna do
open that
this.
Pandora's box, it's so you
Exactly.
can't go back. Yeah,
Exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
Wow.
But if that competition comes, it's like, all natural, I might look into it. I might do it. Yeah.
I think it's a good. I mean, everybody's talking about it now. The Bandweeder
Yeah.
Cup or the Bandweeder NPC IVB Cup, I think, is coming. Got something. The first one will be in Montreal, Canada, which is where they are
Right.
from. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have some in the United States. But
Yes.
Sean, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Give all your website,
Yes.
social media, all that stuff where people can
Yes.
find you and contact you.
My social media, of course, again, Sean SHAUN _ Rez, or you put Mr. FIVEO also come up. My website is 50life.com, all wording FIVEO life.com.
Facebook.
Yeah, no Facebook,
No?
just
Okay.
no Facebook.
Instagram, okay.
Yes, Instagram and my website, and also right now I have my Magic Man product out, and also I'm working on different kind of products, also like a shampoo, hair conditioner, also natural pre-workout.
Okay.
Natural pre-workout supplement, and also kind of like I have a very famous breakfast. They call it FIVEO breakfast, which I'm also online coaching and nutrition plan.
Okay.
So everybody that I give them this FIVEO breakfast, they loved it. And one of
What's
those
in the 50 breakfast?
is the ingredients are secrets.
You suck, man. You're giving me nothing.
Yeah, secrets. Yeah, people
So they
like-
basically have to buy it to know what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so basically on that, I'm making it actually as a production, you know what I mean?
Okay.
To talk, and actually maybe one of my sponsors, we can work something together. Maybe
yeah.
we can give it out, see how it works. People love it.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sean, thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you.
this. I know Jay's gonna be happy. Keep an eye out for this guy. It's not gonna be hard because he's popping all over the place.
Yes.
He's really becoming strong on the scene. Sean, we're very, very thankful for you
Thank
coming on the
so
show.
much, and Jay Cutler, of course, and always been in condition. This is a 5.
Yeah, show those abs, man.
Let me show you something better than abs. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, after you shed, you always do that rear double bicep pose. That's awesome. Look at that. Boom. Awesome. Jay will be glad that you actually did that. There you go. Look at that. Come over here. I don't think we can see you. There you go. Awesome. Mr.
Yep.
50. That's a good fitting name for him. Sean, thank you so much, my
I
friend.
appreciate that.
Dave by Max 6 with Mr.
you.
50 on Muscle Beach TV for JayCulterTV, and we're